Hi, good morning. So here I am. It's in the US. These are timeless readings, but it's the 4th of July, and I wasn't necessarily planning even to do an upload today, but I woke up and I felt really sad in my heart. And I think that it's a lot of sadness that I'm picking up on besides my own. And it almost right away, I was like, yeah, do a layout, because the people that are catching it, especially in timing of the holiday, this is again a timeless, so it doesn't matter. Whenever you catch it will have relevance for you, most likely. But it's not just my sadness. I can feel it. It's people really sad in the US that are just afraid and unhappy with the state of our nation. I'm also feeling a lot of personal sadness, like from others. I don't mean mine, although I am feeling my own personal sadness. I'm feeling sadness coming through personally for someone who feels someone's really, really, really missing someone and really grieving. There's like a hole in someone's heart from your absence or something, right? Like somebody's deeply missing you. And so there's a lot of sadness in the air that I'm picking up on. And I've learned now, doing this channel for a little bit over a year, that when I'm feeling that kind of sadness, it's a great time actually to do a reading, and not to just sit and channel the sadness, but to like move it through via a reading, right? And I brought out this amethyst portal because I might do some scrying through it at the end. I pulled it out because the sort of glint and sparkle of this amethyst made me think of fireworks. And so I thought it might be a nice scrying session today too, but I don't know if I'm going to do it or not. I can't quite feel it. Oh, the other thing too is that it's morning time. I don't recommend this necessarily as someone who's a mental health professional, but I'm drinking a rum punch for the holiday because I rarely drink anymore, and I woke up and wanted to drink a rum punch. I have the ingredients for it. I don't know if my friend is coming over today, who likes to get their dog out of the city and out of the noise. It's really hard on their dog. And they spent the last 4th with me, and I invited them again, and I have a feeling they might not make it. I don't know if they have COVID or something's going on though. So I thought, well, I'm going to have a drink with my channel. So even though it's the morning, I'm a grown-ass adult. I can drink a rum punch for my channel. I'm sending you out saludos, no? Pa arriba, pa abajo, pa centro, pa dentro. Chinga la migra. Whew, goddamn, that is sweet. That's a sweet-ass rum punch. And it's a little bit janky because I don't even have any ice right now, so I'm drinking it without any ice. I like making myself laugh like that sometimes. So anyways, yeah, it's a rum punch. It's with fruit punch, jarritos fruit punch. I didn't even make the punch myself, so we're talking janky. Okay, so salud. So I had decided that I was going to start with tiles, and we'll just see what wants to come out for this collective message. What wants to come out today for this collective message? What, if anything, wants to come out? Well, we only have one. Oh no, sorry, we have two. So we have suit. So either I'm picking up either a suit, right? Like a man's suit, or else a lawsuit could be in play. There is an L and a W here, so it could be lawsuit. Uh-oh, look out. Limp. Somebody might walk with a limp, although also what I'm hearing with that is that 50 Cent lyric where he says, been hit with a few slugs and now I walk with a limp. And then there's that, I'm all right, like that comes right after that. I'm hearing that. So that might have relevance for someone. Or it may be that we're speaking directly to veterans. Today is the 4th. Cut is here. Cunt, yikes. And I also saw a second ago slut, so there might be some kind of a fight going on with a lot of name calling. I'm picking that up, where I don't certainly call other women cunts and sluts, okay, but someone's doing that here. Someone's using some really graphic language talking to a woman in their life, right? Or maybe not a woman. It could, men insult each other, sadly, by calling each other feminine things, which is depressing. Imp, I didn't even put that together, but here's imp. Like there might be some mischief or trickster energy going on. Prescription, somebody might be having something to do with their subscription. World, I'm picking up. Cull, this might have to do with that legal situation. Culling is a term for like thinning out the herd or culling a chicken, right, or a rooster, or making a sacrifice. That's like a cutting of the throat, which is graphic. I'm not wishing that at anywhere here. It's just coming through. Pill. Prescription, we got that. There might have been somebody in trouble for a prescription forgery or something, because there was also a legal situation. We have New Mexico here. St. Louis is coming through. There's no O, but there's everything. It's channeled. Something about St. Louis is coming through. Still, I'm picking up like bootlegging here, or distillation. Someone has a still, or someone's invested in a liquor brand, or someone's interested in distillation, or somebody's like a rum runner. I'm drinking this rum punch and now the word still came through. So there might be some type of bootlegging, which in modern times is the drug trade, right? Because alcohol is not really, there are places in the US where it's banned, certain reservations and certain dry counties or cities, right, in the US have opted to not have alcohol there. So prohibition is still in effect in very small pockets in the United States, but I think for the most part worldwide, alcohol, well, no, what am I talking about? In the Muslim world, lots of places you're not supposed to drink. Everything's black market alcohol. So yeah, interesting, very interesting. Salud. Okay, I think that's all. So those words might have relevance to someone. And now let's go ahead and pull a layout, and we'll just see what wants to come out for this collective reading. Thank you for being here. My name is Cynthia. Thank you for liking and subscribing to my channel. I hope if you like my work, you'll subscribe to it. It helps my channel grow. I've been really loving doing this channel since I started, and I really hope to continue pouring into it because it's really gratifying for me to do this channel. What do we need to know in this collective? What's important to know? We had some kind of criminal enterprise type stuff potentially. I don't even remember now what the other words were that I was channeling. Prescription drugs. A fight where someone was using a lot of really graphic language around women. Easy now, cards. Come on here. What's important to know? Two of Swords on the split. So a stopping point. I have to crowd all this Celtic cross in because my table's kind of small for this deck. Very interesting. So the outcome position and the where the energy is headed is the high priestess, meaning that the tarot is not going to tell us any future energy. It's only going to give us context here. So out of respect for that very definitive answer right off the bat in the outcome position, I'm not going to push for future. This is going to be purely a contextual reading that's going to be like confirmation for someone. And a lot of readers do that. My favorite reader, in fact, Intuitive Goddess 333, she also has another channel, Angel Therapy 333, and she goes by Bella. Her readings are almost all confirmation. Almost none of it is like future prediction. It's almost all comes out in present or past to confirm for someone what's been going on. And I love that about her readings. There'll be streaks where I literally watch for every upload of hers, right? Because she taps way into things that are highly relevant for a lot of people. And none of it is future. It's all, but her channel is blown up, right? And she had to work hard over a lot of years, I think like 5 or 6 years before her channel finally really took off and she achieved like the large following that she has now. So there's something to that, maybe persistence. But let's just see here. So you had to really protect, you've been working or in some type of project with a group. You've been working towards some type of outcome or work, like something that you're doing collaboratively with a group that's very tangible, like you're building something together, you're in business together, something of that nature that you're beyond ready to be done with. Like you might be like, buy me out of this company, I don't want to be a part of it anymore, or I don't want to be in this relationship with you all anymore, my work is going that. Like it could look a lot of ways. Like this little combo right here in the very center could be you being in a band and realizing I can't stand these fucks anymore. I want to leave the band. I'm quitting the band, right? Like we can't agree on anything collaboratively anymore. That our collaborative relationship is past due, but maybe your record label isn't letting you out of your contract. And so you have to keep making art with this band, even though you're like, I don't want to be in the band anymore. I want to quit, but I'm contractually obligated to make these 2 more albums before I quit. Something like that. And here it could be anything. Like I'm at this job and it's a nightmare and I'm just writing, I'm hanging on until retirement. And that's sad. I worked with a lot of people when I worked at VA. I worked at VA for 4 years, which if you're not in the US, VA is Veterans Administration. And I worked in the Veterans Health Administration. And for the first 3 years, I would say I was really proud and honored to work there. But what started happening is I just started realizing like I can't do the work that is authentic to me here. It started slowly revealing the challenges and the drawbacks of working there. And in the end, I couldn't wait to get out of there. And I did. I left after 4 years. I'm sorry, I got sidetracked. I wasn't trying to tell my own story about VA. What I was trying to tell is I worked alongside a lot of people that had worked there long enough that they had what is described as the golden handcuffs. Like they wouldn't have been able to earn the same amount anywhere else, so they felt trapped at VA because their life had lived up to the income that they were earning at VA, and now they can't leave and go anywhere else because they wouldn't be able to afford their life unless they continued working at the VA. So a lot of these people who, that's a calling to work at the VA for serving veterans and helping their health and their body heal after donating their body to the war effort for the US, whatever that looks like, right? Like, that's a high calling to take care of those people. They have a lot of really complex needs. And to be surrounded by so many people that hated working there and were just ready, biding their time until they could retire, I was like, this is sad. Like, I don't want my life to be that. I don't want to be working somewhere where I'm miserable, but I feel trapped and I have no choice but to keep going. Especially for people like wounded veterans. It's like, well, they deserve people who really want to be here, not who are just punching the clock and biding their time until they retire and resenting having to be there. Like, that spills over into someone's care. And it's partly why I left. I was like, there's a lot going on in this atmosphere that is not good and that I think is toxic overall. And I don't want to lend my energy to it anymore. I want to leave in spite of how difficult that was, because I thought I was going to retire from there. So it's something like that. Sorry, that's a lot of storytelling. But that's the exact energy that we're talking about here and where you've been. You've been in a situation that's long past due. And it involves you having to work in a certain group of people and being like, I need to get the hell out of here. I'm on my way. I've made my steps to leave, but I'm not there yet. And I see the light at the end of the tunnel, but I'm exhausted and I hate it here. Basically, okay, that's what the energy is. Your higher power sees this and is bringing you in a more just and balanced situation. You're being witnessed for how disciplined you've been to make your exit stage left from this situation. And they see how tired you are. This is your spirit guides, the universe, whatever. Or you, like your higher self is cheering you on, saying, you got this, you're almost done. Just keep going. You're almost on the way out. You can see the light at the end of the tunnel. You're almost there, right? It's anything like that you're going to be rewarded for how seriously you took the fact that you need to leave this, but you didn't just do it in a, I remember one of my sisters one time hated her job and she quit in like this big blaze of glory, like, fuck you, I'm fucking out of here. But then she was screwed because she had like this window where she had no income coming in and she was broke and on the verge of home, so it's something like that. Like, you've been not doing that. You've been trying to exit the right way, in a smooth way, but it's taking everything you have and you're exhausted. What's under the surface is that by you making this move to leave this situation, you're now bringing a lot of successes coming to you and collaborative relationships and victories with people who do want to work with you and don't drain you. And it is a good project alignment, right? It's not like, God, get me out of here, I can't wait. It's like, these are the people I want to be working with. That's what's happening under the surface and growing and moving towards you in a way that you may not see yet. You used to like this. This is a past connection. Maybe you might have been working with these folks since childhood, or this might have been like a family business, right? It's been going on for a long time, but it went sour. It's gotten to the point where you're like, it's no longer for me. And in fact, it's past due. Whatever this is, I need to go. I'm done. It was nice while it lasted, but I'm on to the next. I need to keep going. Good luck to you all, but this is not for me anymore. Now that you're leaving, now that you're in motion, all of this, and you're preparing to make your big exit out of this, what's coming is healing. It's very healing. This is the right decision for you to exit the situation that doesn't fit your life anymore, your path or your timeline that you're on. By making the decision and doing all of the sort of heroic effort has taken to extract yourself from this situation, now comes major healing, like soul level healing. Like, it's healing for you. It's probably also, for what it's worth, going to be healing to this group that you're no longer in there. This group may have resisted you leaving or may have tried to pull you back like crabs in a barrel. But it's actually going to be healing for them too that you're not there anymore. Because if it's their project still, but it no longer resonates with you, it's better for them that you're not there as well. They may not see that yet. They might have been fighting you on leaving or trying to get you to stay. Or, I had an uncle at one point that this was back during the big Y2K scare. My uncle was a polymath and he made his living and his fortune. Not that he was wealthy, but he made a really good living for both he and my aunt, who was a painter. And during Y2K, he got hired by this small kind of younger upstart group that wanted his help preparing their whole tech system for Y2K so that it didn't crash, right? Well, what he ended up realizing over time is that they had hired him, they weren't paying him a ton, and they were taking his information. Like, they ended up stealing all of his information, and it could be something like that, that these people want to keep you around because they're like, well, we know that we're not going to be doing as well once you're gone, so we're going to keep you here to try to extract as much information from you as we can until you go. And there might be a quality to it that's a little bit exploitive, but you're wise to have been getting out of here because you're going to be healing as a result. It's been pretty sorrowful. You've been pretty sad about this. It's the right move. You know that. You're trying to think positively, but there's been a major disappointment about having to leave this because, like me, to use that VA example again, when I got that job, I thought I was going to retire from there. I was like, this is it. I've achieved like peak success for my discipline in terms of employment as a social worker. You really can't get much better in terms of paid employment as a clinical social worker than the VA. VA pays very well for my discipline. And so when I got there, I was like, I've arrived. Like, this is it. I'm going to retire from here now. I love these people that I'm working with. That was all the sort of pink cloud phase. It didn't last. I started to see beneath the surface, a couple years in. But even then, I was like, yeah, well, that's workable. Every workplace has its problems and its weird legacies of stressed culture or whatever. But then the more time that went on, the more I was like, I need to get the fuck out of here. It's not good I don't want to contribute to treating vets like this, right? So that was a big part of why I left. It was disappointing to have to leave, and that's how it's been for you. Because you've had the courage to make this decision, there's good news coming towards you, and it's about positive collaborations that are maybe going to now cross your path because you've had the courage to walk away from this situation. That's, again, what you don't see coming. What you're hoping for is these new creative collaborations with people that are more in alignment with you. And what it's saying is that it's not going to show. Although there's good news coming, it's not going to tell you what. I just saw a little orb go by. So there's like positive spiritual energy around this as well. Like you're being divinely protected or divinely guided here. Can I get some clarity on the high priestess? Like, I just want to make sure that because maybe you're now going into a spiritual calling. Maybe that's what this high priestess is that you're leaving a typical 9-to-5 and going more into a spiritual way of making your way in the world. I don't know though. Let's just see. Can we clarify the high priestess to make sure I read that right? I mean, it was my first impression, which was pretty strong, so I think I was right, but I just want to make sure. Any information about this high priestess or clarification? Swift incoming communication of a positive nature. So that is clarified information. It's very positive, quick change is coming. It may not reveal the nature though, but let's see. There's a little bit of conflict. Like you might have to compete for some type of, an opportunity might cross your path, but you realize that there are other people vying for the same opportunity. So it's not just going to be handed to you. You have to compete a little bit for it. And compete is weird as a word, but that's what it is. When you're interviewing for a job, you're competing with other people for the job, unless you happen to be the lone applicant. Again, at VA, when I applied for that job, that was another reason why I was so proud. I was up against 5 people. I think almost every single person that interviewed for my position was a veteran, and VA gives preferential hiring to veterans. I'm not a veteran. I am a veteran of AmeriCorps, which is a domestic Peace Corps program. So I did serve the nation, only I did it in AmeriCorps, not in the armed forces. And maybe that is what helped me win out over these other veterans, but I was shocked. I didn't know that at the time that I interviewed. They told me afterwards that how impressive my interview was because I won the position over 5 other applicants who were veterans. And I was like, wow, I felt a way about that at first. Like, do I feel okay and I was like, well, yeah, because I've earned it. that was me in the interview. I earned it because I am a good at what I do, right? And I've got a lot of experience, and I know how to do this work. You're finding out that there's competition for the opportunity that's coming for you, of the collaboration that you would like to have. Yeah, it's a spiritual, you're on a spiritual, you're stepping into a spiritual role, a spiritual leadership role, which is very interesting. I don't know why there's competition though. Can we get clarification about the competition? That's also why the High Priestess came out, is because you might be doing something like me. Like I have my mainstream clinical social work business that I started, and I'm doing this channel, which is very High Priestess, Hierophant type work. I wouldn't call myself that as a social worker, but as a card reader, these cards apply, right? So you might be trying to leave something more traditional for something more spiritual. What's this Five of Wands here? You need to just channel your own light into the situation. That's what you're being told to do about the Five of Wands, is you don't want to get focused on the competitors. You just want to focus on shining your own light. Yeah, it's going to be hugely abundant. That's why there's competition, because this is the kind of position or opportunity that many people would love to have. It's very beautiful. It's a very positive opportunity. Oh my God, for a new world and a new life and a new, it's all coming for you, and it's all very positive. Whatever competition might be in place for you is not going to be really a threat to you. It's actually, you're going to win out over it. So it's interesting because the tiles that I pulled, I don't know what those messages have to do with any of this. We had like criminal work. So that might be, you might be leaving something that was illegal to move into something mainstream, and I'm going to earn my money now through stocks, through trading, right? Or through real estate or something not illegal. I mean, that could be. What were the other words? There was like some kind of, oh my God, that's right. Those two fighting words. So some of these competitors are not going to be so gracious, is what I'm picking up. They're going to have something to say about you as a feminine. Okay. Do not sweat it. And in fact, it's making me laugh. So that's indicates to me that hopefully it's going to make you laugh too. Like, they're not in your league, clearly, if that's what they're resorting to. Like, if they see that they're up against you and the words for you are that you're a cunt and a slut, like, they're not a high priestess, okay? They're not at your level. They're not going to win. You're being chosen for something high level, and someone who talks like that about another woman is not high level, right? Okay, or about women in general, right? Excuse me. So what else? What else do we need to know about the situation? What's going on with this? Tell us more about this situation, please. I saw that recently. There was like a card reader that was posting trash talking about readers who show a little bit like me, right? Like, I'll wear lingerie sometimes on here on this channel, and it was all like, I don't have to show my tits. My readings speak for themselves. Like, I don't need to show my tits to get views or whatever. And it's like, okay. It just made me laugh. I wasn't upset about it, because it's like, this is like, my tits are not to be ashamed of, for one. Like, men wear no shirt all the time, right? What's wrong with people being able to understand that these are boobs? And also, call me a slut, okay? If you want to call me a slut and that's what makes you feel better, great. I know I'm not a slut, and even if I am a slut, so what? Maybe I was a slut one time. Maybe I like to look slutty. Who fucking gives a shit, right? Like, that's what so makes me laugh about this, okay? And what made me laugh about that reader, it's like, I'm sure your readings are great. I don't judge you for looking like a conservative churchgoer, okay? So get off my ass. If I'm showing my body, that's my body, okay? Yeah, just funny. The sheep and blackberry, the finch and peach. These both came in the reverse, so this indicates, yeah, that you have possibly some haters around that you need to make sure that you're having boundaries or protecting yourself from. The sheep and blackberry. What does this have to say, first of all? This might have to do with you doing protective work. Like if you're a high priestess, you might be somebody that is a healer in your community. What's going on here? Where am I? I'm trying to just find card number 5. I keep missing it somehow. Okay, that's why. You can be your own guide. Your wisdom comes from within rather than without, and it is your responsibility to impart this gift as a mentor or teacher. That's exactly what this outcome was saying, is that you are in a position of needing to just trust your own qualifications. Don't worry about this little competition with someone who's going to call you a slut and a cunt, okay? Like, don't worry. Don't even compete with those people. Just do your own work. Let your own light shine, and you're going to not have anything to worry about. The sheep and blackberry calls us to focus on our commitments, whether they're to a partner, a job, a creative practice, or a spiritual tradition. Sheep are innocent and vulnerable and must be watched over and guided. Blackberries are symbols of protection with their large brambling thorns. Their abundant fruit also symbolizes prosperity. Combining the energies of the two gives us a direction. Honor our promises, allowing them to fruit and to flourish. Yeah, so just show up like you. Whatever this opportunity is, all you have to do is keep shining like the star that you are, and you're going to get it, right? These other people are just going to have to hate, apparently. And then the next card is the finch and peach in the reverse. Your timidity or unwillingness to take risks may be hindering your chance at love. Remember that vulnerability, while frightening, is essential to healthy relationships. Love is in the air when the finch and peach appears. The peach, a sweetly scented heart-shaped fruit, has long been associated with fertility, sexuality, and love. And the lively finch symbolizes exuberance, enthusiasm, and excitement. Well, that's you. But you're attracting evil eye from people that don't like the way that you're shining and the love that you're attracting. That's the first time that showed up, except for this 10 of Cups. So part of what might be happening is that you are meeting your match in love. If you're a high priestess, you're about to meet your high priest, okay? This is no joke. This is like two super powerful, incredibly fiery, powerful souls coming together. You're attracting other feminines maybe that wanted this masculine for themselves, and that's where the slut is coming from. But it's not just about romance. It's about you building an empire with this person because you're a high priest and a high priestess coming together. It's very then plus the hermit, the 10 of Cups, and the world. That's your position with that high priest. It's not someone else's. That's where you belong. Those are your thrones. So nobody's going to win over you. You're the empress or the high priestess here, okay? That brings me back to this sheep and blackberry card again. Like, let me read that meaning again. You can be your own guide. Your wisdom comes from within rather than without, and it is your responsibility to impart this gift as a mentor or teacher. So it's really up to you And it's your responsibility to stay above this kind of shit. You don't need to even engage. You don't even need to let it into your energy or your radar, right? Super interesting. Let's see. What else do I want to pull here? That almost feels complete, right? I'll pull some of my cards. What else do you need to know about this situation? I was going to do a little bit of scrying, so maybe I'll do that here. Accept, embrace, and love your heartbreak. Love your pain. Well, that is the work of a high priestess. A high priestess doesn't do shit like run from her troubles, run from the fact that your lover chose someone else, right? Like a high priestess is so wise and really solid and sovereign in who she is. So if you ever had your heart broken, you understood that that's part of having an open heart and you embraced it, right? You didn't fight it. But you also started recognizing, well, I'm not going to stay somewhere where my heart keeps getting broken. I'm not going to keep working in a setting where I'm not respected or I'm not regarded as the high priestess that I am. And so I'm going to get the fuck out of here. And that's sad for me, but I've got to move on, right? It could be something like that. Don't cast your pearls before swine. Exactly. You're a high priestess. You're not someone who calls your competition a cunt and a slut. Okay. That's not how you operate. Don't cast your pearls before swine. Do not even look these competitors' way. They can't touch you. They're not on your level. They're not on your timeline. They're not in your league. They're people that call you a cunt and a slut. You don't even have shit to fuck all to do with people like that. Okay. They don't even enter your orbit. Your energy soothes and is a gift to the world. You're a fucking high priestess. Do not cast your pearls before people that are going to call you a cunt and a slut. Just fucking straight up. Stand firm in your center and your truth. Boom. That is great messaging. Great messaging. And follow your own inner light. Yeah, let's pull some from the Horror Oracle. I haven't used this deck in a few readings. What else? What else, Spirit? What's this new opportunity going to be like? Because you're a shoo-in. You don't even have competition. It's like the way that you're showing up, versus the way other people are showing up for the things that are coming to you. Whoa. It's like they're not even, I'm embarrassed for them kind of thing. It's like they're going to be blown out of the water. They can't even show up anywhere near like you, okay? It's like you're not even in the same league. You're just not. So what do you have to look forward to in terms of this opportunity? What's it going to be like? What is the new opportunity coming in for you, High Priestess? It looks to me like it's a love with the High Priest, with your divine counterpart. But it might also be work as a High Priestess, right? Like you're leaving this old setting to do a higher calling. Even if those around you don't understand it. What's this new opportunity? What is it? So we have Trickster, which is it in the upright. Oh my God, it is so fucking scary. I read the book and I was in high school. When I read it, I was 15. I very specifically remember being 15. That book is so fucking scary that I would read it until like 2:30 or 3 in the morning on a school night. And then I would just lay there with the light on because I was so scared that I couldn't sleep. But then I couldn't put the book down because it's really good, but it's really fucking scary. And I remember even at that age being blown away, like, how can a book be so scary? Like, you're not even seeing it on the screen in front of you with the suspenseful music and everything. It's just the book. It's just someone's potent ass writing and genius mind to create a horrific story like it. Stephen King, I mean, he's a master of that kind of terror. That book was, yeah, I mean, it was literally so scary that I couldn't turn my light out after I was done reading it for the night. I was that scared. I also had this kind of more life-size Raggedy Ann and Andy doll that my grandma had made me that were in my room at that time, even in high school, because they were handmade by my grandmother. But they were look clownish, like these big clowns in my room, and I was so scared that I had to like put them away because it was so fucking scary. So anyways, that's a personal story. Trickster. Trickster. What else? This is what else you need to know about the situation here. What do you have to look forward to regarding this situation? Appearances can be deceiving, and playful seeming mischief, especially if coded as harmless, can be fueled by a subterranean animus. No one is ever just kidding. Bright, distracting balloons can hide a toothy maw. Boy, and toothy maw, that's interesting. That saying, toothy maw, there's a Latin, what it would be in Latin is chasm odonton, and that used to be this phrase that my friend and I exchanged about being terrified of a mouthful of teeth. That's really interesting. A figure as old as time, the trickster will use our own thoughts and fears against us if they can. Be mindful of manipulation as you proceed. So don't let people undermine you or make you intimidated by their harsh words, by their aggressive approach, right? Don't even give it the time of day. Don't acknowledge it. Don't engage. Don't respond. Don't retaliate. None of it. Rise above it, but no, be aware that it's happening, right? What else? Ice in the reverse. And fuck ice, by the way, while we're on the subject of ice. Sorry. Who can you really trust? Keep cool and stay solo. So you need to really move in your own energy, like that hermit energy. Follow your own inner light. Don't listen to anyone else right now. That, again, is really good advice here. And it says, a difficult or unforgiving environment can play a major role in our health and sense of well-being. Well, that's right at the center of the reading. You were like, I got to get out of here. This environment no longer serves me. It can limit and control our behavior as well as the actions of those around us. Harsh circumstances can allow bad energies to mutate and thrive in the extreme. Only by identifying a problem can we have any chance of dealing with it, or at least keeping it from spreading. Who can you really trust? Keep cool and stay solo. Just keep following your own inner light when it comes to this competition, because you're not even in the competition. Once again, you don't need to compete. All you have to do is just be you and you're going to win. Okay, so don't lower yourself. Do not lower yourself. And then midnight. In the upright. Some rules are made to be followed, and doing so can make the difference between a sweet circumstance or quickly multiplying elements of chaos. Timing can be everything. If things take a turn for the worst, it can be helpful to shine a light on the problem rather than let it fester in the dark. In times of festivity, be mindful in your gift giving and remember that personal experience can make holidays challenging for some. Take comfort in doing what's responsible. Well, that's kind of an interesting full circle message, because today is the 4th of July. And it's like it's bringing it home from that opening sorrow, sadness. It's like, don't let it bog you down. Know that it's about to end. Know that you don't have anything to worry about, right? Like, this is all in the bag for you. These fears that are temporary within you, that's all it is. They're just illusion. So let me just pull a final message here from Colette Baron Reed, and then we'll call this reading done. What's the final message for you? What's the final message? Oh, I was going to scry too. I'm sorry, this is going to go on a little bit long. I'll try scrying for a second. If it doesn't take right off, I'm not going to force it because this is starting to go on a little bit long. Poised. In the reverse. Al revés. ¿Se dice en español? I can't remember how you say reverse in Spanish. You're not ready to move forward at this time, and that has to be okay. Be poised in the face of demands and deadlines. Pretending you know what you're doing works sometimes, but if you adopt a fake it till you make it attitude, it will land you in some muck now. This is not the time to wing it and deliver something half finished. It's okay to postpone things until you're really ready. It's better to disappoint others now than to wish you had later. That's interesting. I didn't expect that, but that's advice for you regarding this situation. And I'm just assuming, if this is your reading, that you're going to know what that means. And that you need to maybe wait until the opportunity comes to you. You don't need to go chasing after this opportunity or force anything or compete for it. It's going to come up, show up for you. You don't have to do anything. So I will do a little bit now. We'll just do a second here to see if anything comes through the amethyst portal. So I'm seeing an iron cross, which is an old German military symbol, which is kind of disturbing. I don't know what that's about, but it's here, iron cross. And I'm also seeing an eagle. The bald eagle is a symbol of the 4th of July, right, in the United States. It's the main symbol for the United States. I'm seeing Rainier, the brewery, the R from Rainier, the logo. I'm also seeing somebody wearing sacred garb, like their traditional. If you're a high priestess or this high priest, for example, you might be wearing your regalia or your sacred garb at points, or you might be looking forward to a time where that's where your world is, more than having to show up in an, oh my god, suit came through, right? So something about your official suit, your attire at work, you might have to wear a suit. That could be like regalia, right? In the West, a suit is like regalia. It denotes a certain status. It could be. I just heard a song come through. It's by Jeremy. It's called We, spelled French, OUI, and grown man in my suit and tie. There's no we without you and I. So that has something to do with this message. I'm seeing someone doing what I'm doing. They're gazing into, it looks like they're scrying. They're gazing into a cauldron. They have long hair and a beard and a hat that denotes their spiritual rank. Now I'm seeing the ghosts from Pac-Man. Gaming comes through a lot for me. I must have people that do a lot of gaming in my collective, because I'm not a gamer at all, but I pick up regularly on stuff like Roblox and League of Legends and all kinds of stuff. So someone really likes gaming. Now I'm seeing nesting dolls, like Russian nesting dolls. Now I'm hearing the song, downtown, everything's waiting for you. I don't know what that's about. Now I'm seeing like a little dinosaur egg. That's kind of cool. And someone holding it up to a light to see if it's viable, but it's a dinosaur egg. Hello. It's probably petrified. Yeah, now I'm seeing a conjurer, like a conjure man or a root worker, some kind of, and that tracks with that high priest, high priestess energy. And an arrowhead, like a stone arrowhead is coming through. Now I'm seeing like a woman leader cradling a baby, and now she's turning into an ape, like a howler monkey type ape. And she's carrying a plate of food. That's interesting. Something about Dr. Dolittle, like the ability to communicate with animals, is coming through for someone. So someone might feel like they have animal communication as a gift. Now I'm seeing a children's book. It's one of my favorite books of all time, not just my favorite children's book, but it's one of my favorite books ever. It's called The Snowy Day. And I'm seeing the little boy in that book. He wears like a little snowsuit, and I'm seeing him in my mind's eye. Now I'm hearing from Pink Floyd, time to go, time to go. It's from The Wall. And that song, oh my God, that's weird. Something about knocking. Some of this might arrive to you with someone knocking on your door. This might be what kicks some of this into motion. Because the other song that I kept channeling was someone's knocking at the door, somebody's ringing a bell, someone's knocking at the door, somebody's ringing a bell, do me a favor, open the door and let them in. But that's coming with a little bit of caution. You want to know who you're letting in. And again, this can relate back to something more on a grander scale, like ice. If ice knocks at your door, you don't let those fuckers in. Okay, so there's something to do with that coming through for someone. I don't know. And I think that's it. I'll go ahead and close out that messaging. Maybe we'll just pull one more card here. One more final message for you. One more final message about your circumstance. What do you need to be aware of? What are some final messages about your current situation? What do you need to know? Do me a favor, open the door and let them in. So the first card is Scorpio. Close to a pool of stagnant water, this essentially terrestrial creature creeps stealthily along, apparently harmless, and slowly overcoming or circumventing its obstacles while searching for the victim, however powerful and strong, whom it will attack without fear, knowing that its diminutive size will enable it to conceal itself easily and without risk, its faculties of dissimulation constituting its strongest weapon. Scorpio is moist, cold, fixed, nocturnal, feminine, and of the watery element. It is an intellectual card, which makes it possible to succeed through trickery, or at all events through cunning. It gives ambition and a tendency to sarcasm, and often represents a false friend. The consultant knows what he wants and possesses the ability of obtaining it, if not through violence, then through his shrewdness, exertion, and skill, which will be the factors in his success. So be mindful, follow your own light. You don't need to be doing anything but that, right? Making your own plans, making your own stealth moves. Strike when the iron's hot. Don't cast your pearls before swine. Don't give any of your medicine away, right? You need to be very self-preserving right now. And then Saturn. Is the God who devours his children, just the same as insatiable time absorbs the minutes, hours, months, and centuries. This taciturn old man, holding the scythe and the hourglass in his hand, bending under the weight of his years, the eternal utopian, dreams of the golden age of the dwellers of the Latrum Hill, over whom he formerly ruled. The Latrum Hill, I've never heard of that expression. I'm going to have to look that up now. It's spelled Latrum Hill, Latrum Hill. This card represents the grandfather, old age, death, the end or recommencement of all things. It is a card of good counsel and of prudence, which procures moral support rather than pecuniary help in times of difficulty. The vocabulary in this little book is something else. It represents intellect, economy, real estate property, and safe investments, which are the foundation and security of family life. Yeah, so play it cool, move in silence. You're going to have everything you ever needed and ever dreamed. You're in a very skillful place. You just need to keep flying low under the radar. Don't fall into traps of trying to prove yourself to anyone. Don't cast your pearls before swine. You don't need to do any of that, and this opportunity is yours. If you sink to a lower level and start trying to be performative and competitive and showing off and acting out of ego, that's where you blow it all. You don't need to do any of it because it's yours. This is all yours, okay? So I think that's it. I feel better. I don't feel that deep sorrow in my heart now like I felt when I woke up. And I'm sending you love and respect out there wherever you are today. And I'll see you in the next one.